back. WNST weekend pointed toward Canton, Ohio for a night that a lot of us have been waiting for. Now, I was out there for J.O. a couple of years ago, but even J.O. would probably admit there's something special about Ray Lewis this weekend. And this guy is in a club with J.O. and will be with Ray Lewis beginning on Saturday night. He is a Hall of Famer, always generous with his time, always visiting with us, always having fun at the Super Bowl, and talking some football. And then we talk about some serious issues in prostate cancer. He is a survivor. I'm sure he's wearing a gold jacket and still looks like he could go out there and play the nickel. We welcome Michael Haynes back onto the program from Canton, Ohio, and the hallowed halls where Ray Lewis joins the club. Michael, going to be a lot of purple out there this weekend, man, and I know you go every single year, and it's one of the highlights of your year, but Ray and John now together in this club, Baltimore, well represented out in Canton this weekend.
Well represented is right. It's exciting time for everybody. I haven't seen those guys yet. It's early in the week. A lot of people are just now coming into Canton today, but I've been here since Monday. Wanted to make sure I adjusted to the time change.
You got that West Coast, East Coast thing going on, huh?
Oh, yeah.
For you with Ray Lewis and the Hall of Fame and more than that, just the building, because we have so many people coming out there this weekend, and I tell people, and I mean, you were inducted a number of years ago, how much the place has changed, and the building has changed, and the Hall of Fame has changed for the people who go and experience it. I'm sure you don't even recognize it from what it was 10 years ago.
Well, I actually haven't been up to the hall yet to see how much more it's changed, but you're absolutely right. When I was inducted, we actually had our presentation and our speeches right on the steps of the hall. You know,
it wasn't that long ago. We're talking 1997. You went, right?
That was 97. Right. Actually, it was quite a while ago.
Doesn't feel that long ago to me, but if I asked Ray Lewis, he would say that was 16 seasons ago. Yes, that was a long time ago.
and so it has really changed since then. Now we have the ceremony in the stadium, and they're getting close to filling up the stadium. It's pretty impressive.
For you, with the specialness of all of this, if you and Ray have a moment together, what do you say to incoming Hall of Famers? I mean, they know what this is about, but maybe they don't after you get the jacket and what it does for the rest of your life after that.
Well, I think that from the city of Canton standpoint, it's changing, and so like for me, it was like an old sleepy town when I was inducted. Now it's it's pretty vibrant. There's a lot of stuff going on here. They're building the Hall of Fame Village. In a couple of years, it's going to be a destination for a lot of reasons, not just the Hall of Fame. I mean, not just to go through the museum. There's going to be health and wellness things going on here, youth camps, leadership camps, and a lot of activity. A lot of activity is going to be going on right here in Canton.
Oh, I've called it Disney
David
World.
Baker's doing a great job.
Yeah, I think it's a place everyone's going to stop in the Midwest on their way to wherever they're going, and it's going to be a little bit of a mini Orlando, right, for football fans.
Oh, exactly, and they're actually going to have a lot of exhibits too that leave Canton and will be traveling around the NFL cities, so fans can get a chance to see a little bit of the history of their favorite team at the stadium or at the team's practice facility.
I'm going to talk one football issue with you because you're here, and I'll get back to you in Atlanta. I'm sure I'll see you at the Super Bowl and whatever. What's a catch these days, Mike Haynes? You've watched the game forever. You're in the Hall of Fame. You went out and tried to break these things up week after week to make your living. The part of the NFL, and we can talk about the good part, the bad part. Last year we had all sorts of things with the knee, and all that stuff's going to come back as well. But the game on the field, do you think the game's evolved in a positive way, or are you thinking it was better before?
I think it's evolving in a positive way, and they're making it safer. And I think as I've aged and a lot of the guys that I played with have aged, I've seen a lot of injuries that maybe could have been avoided or altogether, really. And so with the idea of having less hitting in practice, less hitting in training camp and everything, I think those are important changes. And even the way that we hit guys, our opponents. There was a time when really I literally tried to hit this guy and knock him out of the game, And I still think if I were playing today, I would have some of that in me, but not to the point where I was really trying to injure the guy, because I see later what happens to those guys and how they may not be thinking as quickly as they could be thinking And it's also one of the reasons I'm glad that I played defense instead of offense, because a lot of players have an option. You could go either side of the ball. And being on the defensive side, when you're delivering the blow, you're probably less likely to have some, serious illnesses or, mental type of injuries in the future. So, yeah, I like what they're doing, and hopefully it'll minimize a lot of those injuries. And if we can find some ways to deal with those in a better way by minimizing hits in practice and in games and coming up with some new inventions, new things, new therapies that might help guys, then I think we're going to be okay.
He comes on each and every year at the Super Bowl to promote men's health and taking care of ourselves, all of us. Hall of Famer Michael Haynes is here, and, of course, he came in and terrorized us back in the day on 33rd Street out there with Sam the Bam and Vataha and Hannah and all those guys back in the day, and we'll see him on Saturday night out in Canton with Ray Lewis. He's here for the American Urological Association's Know Your Stats campaign. It's something that's been ongoing. I know I've been talking to you for a decade about it. You had your own issues. Obviously, my wife said leukemia twice, so we're always trying to shed some light on all this. But for every man out there listening, and you always seek me out, know your stats and knowing your number. Mike, I don't want to tell you this, and next time you see me in Atlanta, I'll be 50. I'm 49 now. I turned 50 on October 14th. So I know you're coming to get me. You're on my shoulder poking me right now, telling me to get out and see Dr. Sigmund.
Well, as long as it doesn't run in your family, you don't have to really rush to the doctor, to get your physical or to have a screening. But when you hit around 55, you probably at least want to talk to the doctor about it. So you've got a few more years, but you're right. That's why I'm here. Actually, I love coming. This is where my education started about the importance of early detection. I went to a screening here, and the doctor asked me a lot of questions. I didn't know the answers. It was really pretty embarrassing. I knew my grandfather died of some kind of cancer, but I didn't know what kind of cancer. I didn't know that African-American men were more likely to get prostate cancer than the general population. And I didn't know it ran in families. I didn't know any of that stuff. And so my education started here. When I got back home, I talked to my primary care doctor, gave him my new information, looked at my chart, and suggested I go for a biopsy, which is the only way that you can tell if you have prostate cancer. You're not going to learn it by going to a screening. You might have some idea. You might think you have it or something, but you're not going to know unless you have a biopsy. And they checked 12 places on my prostate, and I had cancer in 9 of the 12. And up until that point, I had no idea. I didn't have any symptoms or anything. And so if I had not attended that screening, I would not have had the conversation with the doctor, which led to me talking to my primary care doctor. And so I just want people not to be like Mike. I want men not to be like Mike in particular, because if you're like me, you're going to find out by accident. I want you to find out because you were motivated to go and talk to your doctor, or your wife is motivating you, or your brother or your son is motivating you to go talk to your doctor to find out if you have it. And our campaign is really now in its 10th year. And we've been doing this now for 10 years. And I also realized the importance of continuing to do it year in and year out, because I go to a lot of the same places every year. And every year I'll see guys like, oh, yeah, so you're back talking about prostate cancer. Yeah, how old are you now? I'm 58.
Well, I was 40 when we started. Now I'm 50.
Yeah, and so like I'm glad we're talking like this, because when you're 55, I'm going to know it.
Well, I don't know that I'm going to catch him, Mike, but I hope I look like you at 65. I'll say that. I looked down and saw you're 65, and I'm like, I'm doing the math on all of it. I'm like, yeah, I guess he is, but you never come across that way to me, man. And tell everybody what they can do to get involved. If there's a website they can to go to get the information. Because, look, we're all scared of this, right? When the fingers come out and the glove, nobody, right? Nobody wants that, right? I mean, that's not something that's something all of our wives are going to push us to do. It's not going to be some sort of voluntary, I think I'll go get my prostate checked today,
Yeah, well, it's, you're not going to get any sympathy from women, well, right? That's the only thing we have to do,
Oh, yeah.
We definitely have to do both tests, the blood test and the digital rectal exam. You have to. It's a few seconds, but if it keeps you in the game, man, you have to do it.
Well,
So for more information on our program and what we're doing, and a lot of just information there that might help somebody determine if they should go talk to their doctor, is on our website. It's knowyourstats.org.
knowyourstats.org. I'm on it right now. It already popped up from when we were together at the Super Bowl. I already got it fresh out here. So know your stats about prostate cancer. Get the facts, share the story, learn more. You can go to urologyhealth.org or knowyourstats.org as well. Michael, always a pleasure. I know your time's short. I hope to see you in Canton this weekend. I hope to see you in Atlanta in 6 months, and you can continue to rib me and tell me I got to go see Dr. Sigmund and get myself looked after, all right?
I look forward to it. Okay, thanks a lot.
Ray Lewis, give him our best. We'll see you out there in Canton, Ohio. Mike Haynes, Hall of Famer. And we're doing 4 buses out to Canton, Ohio this weekend. You can look for us and wave on the television as well. We'll also be out in the bay at Toyota.com audio vaults 24 hours a day from anywhere in the world, talking to Hall of Famers, talking to Ravens folks, talking to baseball folks about the backside of the Orioles' bloodletting and Scope and Gosman and all the stuff that's happening around here, as well as Adam Jones. It is a busy, busy time around here. We're going to watch Lamar Jackson play football. We're going to hear Ray Lewis's speech, and we're going to get ready for the 2018 Ravens season. And I am pointing toward Atlanta on February 3rd. I'll be mentioning that a lot. Nasty at WNST.net finds me. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Instagram, streaming live on our Facebook as well as our YouTube WNSTV channel. We are WNST.net, AM 1570, and WNST, Towson, Baltimore, and we never stop talking Baltimore sports.